Last week's announcement by the Commonwealth Bank appointing a chief AI scientist caught all our attention because I think it signals something much bigger that's actually happening right across the market. When I listen to organizations talk about AI, it feels like we keep coming back to the same four questions. Who's in charge? What are they actually in charge of? How do they measure value? And what's the ROI for the business? Now, the interesting thing is, I don't think we've really answered most of them yet, even though there's only four questions. So let's take the first one. Who's actually in charge of AI inside an organization? It's probably not the CIO in its current form, so someone from the operational side, but what do they really understand about data and security? So instead, we hear a lot about a chief AI officer. Yep, another CXO role. Honestly, most organizations still seem to be working that out in real time. But I do think there's starting to be more clarity around the second question. What are they actually responsible for? And that we seem to be landing on operational cross-functional execution. That means not siloed experimentation and certainly not more innovation labs. Just how work actually gets done inside the business. And once you start thinking about AI through the lens of execution, you immediately run up to the third gate. How do you create a new value measure across an old organizational operating model? Because there's growing acceptance that it probably isn't token consumption. That's going to highlight where functional budgets are expanding, and it might surface some simple human replacement maths. But if business end up trapped in a model where they're becoming heavily dependent on frontier AI models, while costs continue to escalate in siloed parts of the organization, eventually they're just going to start asking some more serious questions. Which leads to the fourth question. What is the actual ROI when you remove activity and usage and effort from the TCO equation? That only leaves a rethink about real operational outcomes. And honestly, I think this is where the real differentiation between companies in the AI market is going to emerge over the next few years. It's not who has the biggest model, but who can actually define and govern and improve execution inside business. And that's why I think the Commonwealth Bank appointment matters. To me, it says they've at least answered the first question. Who's in charge? And welcome, Professor K. How they answered the remaining three questions will become one of the more interesting AI strategy stories in the Australian market over the next 12 months. Now, I've unpacked this a lot further in a new article on my Councilio Substack, and you'll find the link to that in the comments below.